Hey, this is Doc Yates. I'm a naturopathic doctor, registered acupuncturist, and a kinesiologist, owner of the Yates Naturopathic Clinic, and the founder of the interactive health website, Able Health. And this is the Simply Health Podcast, a show for females where I work to simplify and demystify the secrets of achieving optimal health naturally, based on my own experience in working with thousands of female patients over the past 15 years of my clinical practice. Welcome to Simply Health. Hey, this is Doc Yates, and welcome to the Simply Health Podcast, brought to you by ablehealth.us. And this is a show, again, where we're talking about health tips and tricks for perimenopausal and menopausal females. So today we're going to take a break from the usual tutorials, and I want to give you a patient success story. So this will be a quick one. And of course, the patient will remain nameless. But this is someone who I have worked with for a variety of other health concerns for a long period of time. So a long period of time, many different issues for them or their family. But recently, they've come to me and they're like, you know what, this time I'm actually trying to improve my health. I'm actually trying to lose weight. And I just keep putting on weight and putting on weight. And I'd been with her, working with her long enough, and I knew from where she was at that I was like, we're just going to check your hormones. It's probably you're at that stage. Things are shifting. We've got to figure out what's going on. So we did their test, and to no surprise, the estrogen was relatively high. The progesterone was quite low. And so I gave her everything that she needed to help balance that out. We didn't discuss diet at that point. We didn't go into exercise at that point. We didn't go into detoxification, other than beyond that I gave her the Estrodom supplement that we use to help detoxify excess estrogens. That was basically it. And then, Christmas, holidays, everything comes in there. And she had a 2-month supply of everything. And then she had called me back recently and saying, oh, I need some refills for me, and I need a couple of refills for, this other member from my family who you're also working with. And I was like, oh, hey, how's it going? She's like, oh, amazing. And I was like, oh, well, tell me more. I always like hearing good news. It's a great thing for your day. And she's like, well, the weight, is literally just falling off of me. And I was like, well, refresh my memory. What have we all got going on? What else have you been doing? And she's like, nothing. I've just literally been using the progesterone cream at the dosage you recommended. I've been taking those pills. And yeah, I'm down 10 pounds. And I was like, well, that's fantastic news. I was like, but you must be doing a more extensive workout routine or a different style of that at the same time. She's like, no, everything else is the same. I'm eating the same. My exercise is the same. All of that is the exact same. So I didn't ramp it up, but I was doing something before. So yes, I am exercising, but I'm not doing more than I was before when I was gaining the weight. And I was like, well, that is very interesting news. But yet, at the same time, it's very common. It's for me to hear that, it's a very common feature that you will hear. And this is why, because one of the things that also was improving was that her mood and her sleep was also improving. So besides balancing the estrogen dominance, which at this point, going through the podcast, is a big contributor to weight gain, especially when you're gaining weight around the midsection. So we fixed the estrogen dominance, and the weight gain stopped. Now, to lose the weight that quick, not as typical, but I've definitely seen that happen. So she dropped 10 pounds in that 2 months without doing anything different. So I'm thinking correcting the estrogen dominance, correcting the low progesterone played a massive role in her case. And I also think that the progesterone would have helped with her sleep more and helped with her calming more. Because I know that stress can also play a very big role in terms of weight gain. And if your cortisol is off, that can play a big role in terms of weight gain. And even though we didn't do anything directly for her adrenals, the progesterone, by having that calming effect, giving her better sleep, and then therefore you can handle more throughout the day, that could make a big difference. And cortisol can also contribute to weight gain around the middle. So one thing, such as progesterone and balancing estrogen, can correct more than that. So it can even correct more than that for hormonally, because like I said, if your sleep is off, everything is off. So just in doing that, 10 pounds. So, and maybe 10 pounds doesn't seem like a lot to some of you, but 10 pounds in 2 months without doing anything else, I thought was extremely impressive. And this is not someone who had, a massive amount of weight to lose by any stretch. Like, maybe her entire goal was to lose 20, so she lost half of it just doing this. So you might be thinking, this doesn't apply to me. This is not, if you are at the stage where your cycles are changing, or you're noticing sleep disturbances that aren't necessarily, they could be random, you're waking up throughout the night, sometimes there are sleep disturbances before your period, and all of a sudden you start noticing that you're gaining weight despite the fact that you haven't been doing anything different, this could be exactly you. And these different, and if there's also some stress or irritability, things are like, well, I'm not usually this stressed of a person, I'm not usually this anxious or irritable. If all of those things are coming together, you're looking at that perfect storm of what it takes to gain weight quickly. You're seeing changes in cortisol, you're seeing changes in your estrogen and progesterone levels, and the things that it's affecting, like your sleep and your mood and your weight and your relationships. You correct that, and then you could also see that you could see 10 pounds in 2 months, maybe even more if you had more weight to lose. So I hope this kind of puts some of this into context in terms of the changes that you can see. Because generally, what I would do if someone I knew came in and if they really wanted to double down on the weight loss aspect, I would be putting them on a weight loss diet program. And then I would also be putting them on things to balance their hormones. And when you do those together, then you see the really big changes. So it's just interesting to know how much change that you can notice just by doing the one. And I can tell you guaranteed that if you were to address both things to really clean up the diet and balance the hormones, like 10 pounds in 2 months I would feel that you would do a lot more than that. I would expect a lot more than that. So I hope this was helpful just in terms of what you can expect to see when you balance these things out properly. So again, not much of a tutorial today, but just sharing some experience and success stories of people that could be just like you. This is Doc Yates signing off. Thanks for tuning in to Simply Health. If you want to learn more about health, check out Able Health. If you want to see some of the other projects that I've been working on in health, business, music, and life, please check out the links below.